Welcome back to the Traders Network Show. We're broadcasting worldwide on equities.com. I'm your host, Matt Bird. We're in Davos, Switzerland, covering the 2019 World Economic Forum. And my next guest is Meltem Demirors. She's a Chief Strategy Officer for CoinShares, a digital asset management firm with $250 million under management. Meltem, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Are you Davos out?
We're halfway through Davos, and it's starting to feel that a little that way. That I don't know if you've had a chance to go by any of the social gatherings, but they're pretty amazing. But listen, this is about you, and this is about what you guys are doing at CoinShares. Tell us a little bit about the firm and what you guys are doing, and where you've evolved. Because from what I understand, you guys have really done some amazing growth initiatives the last couple of years. So tell us a little about that.
Sure. So CoinShares, at its core, we're a digital asset manager. What we're focused on is creating products for retail and institutional investors across the world to allow them to get exposure to crypto assets and the blockchain sector broadly, whatever that means. So we can delve into that. We really started our story with a very simple concept. How do people get exposure to Bitcoin if they don't want to deal with custodying it themselves and they really don't want to deal with some of the operational and security aspects that go into buying and holding Bitcoin? So our first product was a Bitcoin exchange traded note.
Okay, so they basically got you very much like a ETF or like a mutual fund, or more like an ETF actually.
Absolutely. So really the idea is we wanted to create the equivalent of an ETF. The problem is right now, so when you buy a bar of gold, right, you have a right to something physical. I think one of the challenges for regulators in particular is when you buy Bitcoin, you have the rights to a digital good, and I think that's very different.
Interesting.
And so the idea of redemption in an ETF scenario is very challenging, particularly with what Bitcoin's gone through in the last few years with chain splits and forks. It's challenging.
Now your asset products. Are you doing all the vetting? Are you putting a number of assets together and then you're managing the fund, or
so right now
are you
we
managing
have
transactions?
You're right. So we have two focus areas. So on the retail side, we're just doing single asset ETNs. The reason they're ETNs, we fully collateralize with the underlying. So our notes are created and redeemed on a daily basis. And the great part about that structure is people can get in, people can get out. And actually what we've seen is the level of creation of new shares in our product is a great bellwether barometer for the sentiment investors have around Bitcoin and Ethereum. So right now we have Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're hoping to add more single coin ETNs this year.
Is there any other stable digital assets out there? I mean, there's tons of digital assets, but are any of them, is there any other stables? Is there a third?
Yeah, so look, what we look at is liquidity. So are we able to create and redeem shares for our investors at a reasonable market price? So if 10% of our shares get redeemed, we don't want to crash the market price, right? We don't want to have a lot of slippage. So number one is we look for a lot of liquidity in the asset. So if we look at right now assets by market cap, we have Bitcoin number one, Ripple number two, Ethereum number three, and then you have Litecoin, EOS, and a handful of others.
It's actually quite a brilliant model.
And then, sorry, I just want to finish. So we have the retail side. Then we also have an institutional side to our business where we create private strategies, almost like private hedge funds that provide strategies, right? So we have a passive fund, we have a more actively managed fund. We're looking at different index constructions.
Listen. I actually want to keep you. I'm going to keep you. We have to cut to a commercial break. You might be sticking around for part two of this. Sure. Listen, you're watching the Traders Network Show. I'm Matt Bird, your host. We're broadcasting on equities.com. We'll be right back. Forum is brought to you by Salt, providing fintech solutions for digital assets. Visit them at saltlending.com. Special thanks to Russia House and rosscongress.org for hosting our show here in Davos in the World Economic Forum. And a special shout out to Burst IQ for their expert commentary in blockchain and technology.